That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is a name that resonates powerfully in the boxing world. His explosive knockout ability and charismatic personality have made him one of the sport's most talked about figures. But as Davis's career progresses, there's a sense that something might be changing. Recently, Tank has made several comments that have caused fans, analysts, and fellow boxers to question his future in the sport. At just 30 years old, with an undefeated record of 30 wins, 28 of them by knockout, and titles across 3 different weight divisions, Davis is at the peak of his career. Yet he's also made it clear that he's feeling burned out, hinting at stepping away from boxing. In recent months, Davis has been vocal about his struggles, admitting that he's mentally worn out. "I need therapy," he confessed in an interview late last year. These words shocked fans who were used to seeing the hard-hitting, fearless fighter in the ring. For many, the idea of Tank Davis retiring at this point in his career seemed premature. Davis himself has even mentioned that 2025 might be the year he walks away from the sport for good. However, just as quickly as he's expressed frustration, Tank's actions have suggested otherwise. He's teased fights against some of the biggest names in boxing, including Vasyl Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney, leaving fans wondering whether retirement is really on the horizon or if it's just a strategy to maintain the spotlight. Tank's journey has been anything but predictable. He's built his career on the thrill of his performances, dominating opponents with his explosive power and tactical aggression. But now, as he's reached the height of his success, he's opening up about the mental toll the sport has taken on him. "I've been doing this my whole life. I need a break," Davis admitted. This admission of exhaustion paints a different picture of the fighter known for his vicious knockouts. Davis revealed that he's been missing important moments in his personal life, something he's deeply felt over the years. This side of Tank was a vulnerability fans hadn't seen before, and it sparked discussions about the price of fame and the emotional struggles that accompany being at the top of your game. The possibility of Davis retiring after 2025 was briefly confirmed by the boxer himself. However, his decision wasn't without a caveat. Tank insisted that he wouldn't leave the sport quietly. He wanted to go out with a bang, making sure that his legacy was solidified with high-profile matchups. "I want to fight the best before I leave," Davis said confidently. Despite hinting at walking away, Tank wasn't about to let that happen without a few more major showdowns. In his quest to solidify his legacy, Davis has set his sights on potential fights with some of the sport's top contenders. One name that has been a point of contention is Shakur Stevenson. The rivalry between the two has been brewing for some time, and when Davis was asked about Stevenson, he didn't hold back. "What has Shakur done in the sport?" he asked, dismissing Stevenson as a serious contender. For Davis, it was clear that the younger fighter hadn't accomplished enough to be considered a true challenge. His comments sparked even more controversy, fueling the ongoing feud between the two. But just when it seemed like Davis was all but ready to walk away from the sport, he shocked fans again with a surprising change of heart. After months of hinting at retirement, Davis admitted that he wasn't quite done yet. "I know I said I was tired, but I'm not done. Not yet," he clarified in a recent interview. His willingness to continue his career sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Now, not only was Davis contemplating a fight with Stevenson, but he also suggested that other big names like Lomachenko and Haney were still on the table before his potential retirement. Davis' shift in attitude left fans and analysts buzzing. The idea that Tank might still have more to prove before stepping away from the sport made his future all the more intriguing. However, the question on everyone's mind remained, would Tank retire before facing Shakur Stevenson? Many fans were excited about the prospect of the two fighters facing off, and it seemed like a fight that would bring the excitement Davis was known for. Stevenson, who is considered one of boxing's rising stars, has been vocal about Davis' retirement talk, calling it soft. Stevenson wasn't impressed by the idea of Davis walking away from the sport before facing him. He felt that the retirement talk was just a way to keep people talking about Tank and creating drama, which is something Davis has always been good at. The tension between Davis and Stevenson only grew after these comments. Stevenson has made it clear that he wants a fight with Davis, and his frustration with the retirement talk only added fuel to the fire. In the world of boxing, rivalries like this are often the best way to build hype, and Davis seemed to know how to keep people guessing. Even as his career seemed to be winding down, Davis was still at the center of the conversation. Davis' recent comments about needing therapy added another layer of complexity to his retirement talk. It was one thing for a fighter to announce that they were stepping away from the sport, but Davis' openness about his mental health struggles added an element of authenticity to his words. It was no longer just a matter of tiredness, it became a question of whether Tank could continue to handle the pressures of being a world-class athlete while dealing with personal issues. Fans sympathized with Davis' struggles, and his vulnerability made him more relatable than ever. At the same time, it sparked a broader conversation about the mental health of athletes, particularly in high-stress sports like boxing. As Davis wrestled with his decision to retire, the boxing world waited to see what would happen next. Davis was still in the prime of his career, and there were plenty of exciting matchups left to be made. A fight with Shakur Stevenson was clearly one that fans were eager to see, and with Tank's recent change of heart, it seemed more likely than ever. But the question remained, would Davis truly retire after 2025, or was he just playing the media game? In the world of boxing, hype is everything. Fighters have long used the idea of retirement to create buzz and keep their names in the conversation. Floyd Mayweather, one of Davis' mentors, was a master of this strategy. Mayweather built his career not just on his undefeated record, but on his ability to make every fight feel like an event. Tank Davis seems to be adopting this same strategy. His retirement talk, whether genuine or not, has created a sense of urgency around his career. Fans now see every potential fight as a limited-time opportunity. It's a strategy that has worked for Mayweather, and it appears to be working for Davis as well. But Davis' situation is unique. Unlike Mayweather, Tank has openly discussed his struggles with mental health. This honesty has made his retirement talk feel more real, adding weight to his words. However, it's also hard to ignore the strategic benefits of such comments. By expressing vulnerability, Davis humanized himself in a way that many fighters don't. It made his retirement talk feel less like a publicity stunt and more like a genuine reflection of his mental state. And yet, despite his talk of stepping away, Davis hasn't completely closed the door on big-money fights, which means the spotlight remains firmly on him. Davis' decision to cancel his scheduled fight with Lamont Roach added another layer of intrigue to his future plans. Roach, a talented fighter, had been set to challenge Davis at the Barclays Center in New York, but the fight was unexpectedly called off. This decision raised more questions than answers. Was it a legitimate issue, or was it just another example of Tank's ability to manipulate the narrative and keep fans talking? By canceling the fight, Davis shifted the focus back onto his future, opening up the possibility of even bigger matchups. Tank's training footage has only added to the speculation. Despite the cancellation of his fight with Roach, Davis' training videos have shown him in top form, executing lightning-fast combinations and showcasing the kind of precision and power that have made him one of boxing's most feared fighters. Some analysts have even compared his training style to that of Floyd Mayweather, highlighting the similarities between the two fighters in terms of their skill and discipline. While fans continue to debate whether Tank Davis will retire or not, one thing is certain: his career isn't slowing down anytime soon. Whether he's preparing for a potential fight with Stevenson or teasing a showdown with Lomachenko, Davis is still very much a dominant force in boxing. His ability to create drama, whether through his performances in the ring or his offhand comments, ensures that he remains at the center of the conversation. And as long as he continues to deliver in the ring, fans will keep tuning in to see what happens next. As the world waits for Tank's next move, the uncertainty surrounding his career only adds to the excitement. Every fight, every comment, and every piece of training footage is now a part of the larger narrative of Davis' career. Will he retire at the end of 2025, or is he just playing the media game? Only time will tell, but for now, Tank Davis is keeping fans on the edge of their seats, ready for whatever comes next.